6'6", 230, right?
Okay.
10 inches, long, stiff,
Whoa.
curved veins in it. No homo sapien, no diddy,
Pause.
whatever you want to call it. And I'm dropping
Okay.
big dog.
Hold on. How would a woman know that you're gonna drop a 10-incher on her if she hasn't even gotten to the bedroom with you?
What is up, my people? It's your boy Access back today with another reaction. The red pill is becoming more feminine. The video is by ohmeezzy. Ooh, alright. Let's see what's going on.
What's the biggest issue you run into with dating women in Miami?
Man, I say the two B's, man, beautiful and broke. These women think because they bad, I give them access to a top-level individual like me. They should be banished and thrown in the moat with the crocodiles.
What do you have to offer a woman?
Everything she could want and need and dream of. You gotta understand, sir. I'm 6'6", 230, right?
Okay.
10 inches, long, stiff,
Whoa.
curved veins in it. No homo sapien, no diddy,
Pause.
whatever you want to call it. And on that top of that, no kids, never drunk alcohol. So they gotta come with something that's gonna shock my core to make me be like, damn, she's the one. Because I'm dropping big dog.
Hold on. How would a woman know that you're gonna drop a 10-incher on her if she hasn't even gotten to the bedroom with you?
That's the zestiest thing I've ever heard in my life. We cover a lot of red pill content on this channel, and I've been seeing a theme on this channel as far as the red pill creators go. As much as I may not like some of these guys, at least the Kevin Samuels of the world, the Tommy Sotomayor's, these guys at least seem to be somebody who, you know, wouldn't want to be with a woman, is, you know, not so zesty. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that there's anything wrong with liking men, liking women, liking whatever you like whatever you like. I just find it really contradictory and really hypocritical that this man is sitting here as a bona fide red pill man talking about his masculine parts. I just think that that's so weird.
I'm 6'6", 230, right? 10 incher, long, stiff, girth veins in it. No homo sapien, no diddy, whatever you want to call it. And
No
on that
homo
top of that,
sapien.
no
I've
kids,
never
never
heard that.
drunk alcohol. So they gotta come with something that's gonna shock my core to make me be like, damn, she's the one. Because I'm dropping big dog.
I understand describing how much of a top value man you are. You go into detail about, you know, having a good job, being a family man, you know, taking care of your mom, your cousins, etc., etc. And maybe alluding to the fact that you are, you know, good in bed. I don't know why you would ever want to tell a man that anyway. But to be as descriptive as he is, big, long, girthy, that's insane. You shouldn't even be saying that. And what's even crazier is when the person who was doing the interview is asking, how does a woman know that he has a big girthy dog on him? Does he want to sleep with him?
That whole
like
interaction was paused, bro.
How would a woman know that you're gonna drop a 10-incher on her if she hasn't even...
How would a woman know that you're gonna drop?
Why does he sound like that?
gotten to the bedroom with you?
I mean, any day you're gonna see the way I walk, you're gonna see the way I talk. She know I'm coming with that BDE. That's that best dick ever. She ain't gonna never get nothing bigger and better than this, and she knows this. Uncompromisable greatness here. I am a super Negro. There's no
Super
more
Negro.
How does a super Negro of sorts please a woman in the bedroom?
Okay.
So how does a super Negro of sorts?
Nah, this is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Red pill content has lost its mind. I feel like we're on a date and we shouldn't be watching this, but we should probably continue on because we're this far in. How does a
Might as
super
well.
Negro please a woman in the bedroom? I'm curious
Hey,
now.
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna start calling myself a super Negro. And if you have a problem with it, I don't care.
The other guy's a little bit more curious and a more sexually inquisitive.
I'm
way,
a super
we're
Negro.
curious too, I guess.
I please her by allowing her to allow me to please myself, all within her, around her, inside her, on her face and everything like that. I want to paint her face like Basquiat. They like that. You got to get her nasty, brother. Toss my salad. You understand me? Yeah, eat that gooch up. I need everything done to me, baby.
Okay, so my suspicions have been confirmed. Red pill content used to be about male self-improvement, you know, separating yourself from the trappings of life, the things that get you caught up, the things that derail you from your path, your purpose, you know, whatever the case may be, and bettering yourself. You know, going to the gym, getting some sort of career, getting some sort of profession, emotional stability, all that stuff.
I agree with all of
Going back out
those.
into the dating game and not letting you know, bad faith actors manipulate you when it comes to choosing who is your bride to be, your baby mama, or whatever. But now red pill content has just become a bunch of losers who grew up, found a way to make a lot of money or some sort of money. It could be even borrowed for credit cards or whatever the case may be. And these men are in their mid to late 30s, hell, even 40s in some cases, like the dude that we just saw. And they go back to places and spaces where young women are to throw around money, to then complain about them only wanting money. But it's just them living out whatever loser fantasy they had about what they could be or should be, or becoming the literal thing that they said that they hated when they were younger. The thing that made women not be attracted to them is because there was an older man with money. They're literally now becoming that older man with money who was creeping on these younger girls.
What's your age?
I'm 34.
But I mean, I think, so, I mean, to be honest, I think the more society progresses, the more we are caring about a person's financial status, because everything is becoming more expensive. Life is, in general, is just becoming more expensive. It's hard for you to like a person, especially as a grown adult. You have to put these things into question. Okay, what's your financial status? If we get together, how are we going to manage? So it's kind of difficult for you to not care about the money. Now, money is not the only thing you should care about, or you shouldn't just prioritize the money. The thing you should prioritize the most is, you know, the person's personality, right? How they take care of themselves, what are their goals in life, and how they treat you, right? And then you should think about, okay, what's their financial status, right? I'm talking about, you know, if you're like 16, 15, you shouldn't really care about, you know, financial status like that. But I'm talking to the grown people, to the adults, right? Once you get to a certain age, these are things that you have to put into consideration, with men and women.
When it comes on to dating in Miami, what do you think women are looking for here?
Money, all right? Gotta have that bag right, man. And you should have the bag right anyways, because you shouldn't be trying to date unless you got your money right.
So
exactly.
Is that why you brought a bag of money out here?
Bag of money is crazy.
This is what Miami is about. Get your money right, come out here, and then you can play, all right? Stay where you at if you ain't trying to come play hard, you know what I mean?
And how much is that in your hand right now?
It's like 150,000. You know, I got another 150 on me in the cash, so, you know what I'm saying?
Mind you, this is a middle-aged man walking around with straight cash. This is not even for the women at this point. This is just to flex on other men, to tell other men, hey, I've got all this. And mind you, I think that this is pretty dangerous, to say the least.
It is.
If this is what red pill content has become, we have totally gotten away from the plot. I don't think you need to carry around $150,000 in cash and then another $150,000.
And then you get robbed like Jack Doherty. You know, that's how it happens.
$1,000 in cash and then big gaudy jewelry in order to prove that you are worth being a man. This is all very feminine traits. This is peacocking at its finest. And literally, you're not going to attract anyone genuine with the type of imagery that you're portraying right now on screen. Like walking around with this bag of money, unprotected, not safe. Maybe he has security, maybe he doesn't. But stupidly walking around with this type of money isn't going to attract anything good out of it. You're either going to get gold digging women, gold digging men, or people that are going to line you up in Miami Beach. But as long as he gets the opportunity to give some good lifelong advice that every man should listen into, you know, the same old tired trope of how much money that you need in order to attract a woman.
So how much money should a man make before he should even think about talking to a woman?
Before I even listen to what he's gonna say or to whatever answer he's gonna give, I think you should, as a grown man, I'm only speaking to the grown men watching this video. If you're like 16, 15, maybe you have a job, maybe you don't, good, keep working. But if you don't, it's not that bad, to be honest. But you should start thinking about, you know, getting a job and starting your own thing. But as a grown man, right now, if you're in your early 20s, I'd speak early 20s because that's my age demographic. I'd say a good amount for you to have before you start actually looking for like a serious relationship is when you, I'll be honest, man, I think as long as you're working, you can date at any moment. But if you're really thinking about moving in with a person, you have to be somewhat financially stable. And somewhat is like the minimum. I'd say you have to be financially stable for you to like move in, because guess what? Then the woman that you're going to move in, she's going to want to have kids. She's going to want to go out, you know, take, you know, for you to treat her, take her out, dinner, whatever, buy her some flowers here and there, whatever. So that's a big expense, bro. That's a big expense. And then what if you have kids by accident? Well, by accident. But you know, so you have to take these things into consideration. So I'd say minimum, be financially stable. Financially stable, not financially successful, because it's two distinct things. You can be financially stable, but financially successful could be, I mean, financial success is really dependent on what you see as what is financial success, because it varies from people to people. But I'd say just be financially stable. Now, what is financially stable in our times, in 2025 right now? I would say if you can buy something like a car today and live your life normally, like nothing, you know, like it doesn't bother you, I'd say you're financially stable. I know that's a very broad example, but yeah, I'd say as long as you can buy things and keep on living your normal life, I'd say that is financially stable.
$10,000 a month. $10,000 a month is an easy number to obtain.
You said how much?
$10,000 a month.
Oh my God.
$10,000 a month is an easy number to obtain if you're looking in the right areas for the actual line of work you're trying to be in.
These guys are fucking characters. They're all either scammers or schemers, but at the end of the day, no matter the profession, they are losers when people look at their actual actual lives. And it's never for the validation from women. It's always from the validation from men. The thing about this content, this red pill master content, is that they use the same exact talking points over and over again, only to serve themselves. And anybody at home watching this, living vicariously through these men who are either doing the interview or participating in the interview.
Is making $10,000 impossible a month? No, it's not impossible. Is it probable? No. If you don't put the work in for it, if you don't work hard enough, and if you don't know where to put your hard work in, because you can work hard, but you could be in the wrong boat. You know, there's an example. I think it was Warren Buffett that gave. You know, if you're rowing a boat, you can put a lot of work into rowing the boat, but if someone is in a jet ski, they're just gonna run through you, or they're just gonna pass you easily. So you could be working hard, but you could be in the wrong boat. So and how does this connect to what I'm saying is that, yeah, you could be working hard to make 10K a month, but you could never get to it, to making 10K a month, because you're just not working in the right field. But if you are, yeah, you can. Is it probable for it to happen? No. Statistically, no. Only, I think, people that make $100,000 a year are in the top 1% of financial income. So statistically, it is not likely for you to make $10,000 a month, and that's the 100K a year is 8 point something K a month. So for you to make 10,000, is it like you're in the top 0.1% or maybe close to that? So is it likely from a percentage wise? No. But can you still make it? Yes. I feel like, you know, sometimes in this life, you just have to believe in yourself. You know, forget the numbers, forget the likelihood percentage. Bro, just keep on it working and make sure you're working in the right field and learning the right skills, and yeah, see where you can get. Maybe you can't get to 8,000, but if you can get to 5,000 a month, you know, that's already way more than most people make a month. So, you know, aim for the stars or shoot for the moon and reach the stars, something like that, you know.
Losers as well. They want to see women, these men who are either doing the interview or participating in the interview, are losers as well. They want to see women continuously embarrassed on camera. They want to put them in their place. They want to see bros flex on women or whatever the case may be. And the strangest thing about all this content is that it is literally going against all the traits that they find to be masculine, that they keep defining as masculine, and lean more on the feminine side of things. And it's crazy because even when they bring up people on this platform who are anti what they usually preach in the red pill manosphere, it makes their gears malfunction. They can't even operate properly because they can't fathom the fact that somebody is normal in a relationship.
How do you feel about her having guy friends?
That's totally cool.
I've always had guy friends. He's met every single guy friend.
Nope. Red flag.
I've had.
I had girlfriends.
Some of my guy friends has literally watched his dog.
So you don't care if she were to spend time with them one-on-one?
No, I think that's insecure if you do.
One-on-one is crazy work. I'm not gonna lie to you. One-on-one.
How is that insecurity?
I'm just secure with who I am. I'm secure in the relationship, and as long as you're secure in the relationship, everything works out.
You don't think her being in that environment with another man one-on-one would create a bridge between you two?
No, because at the end of the day, relationships are all about trust. And if you don't trust your person, you shouldn't be with them.
This guy can't even fathom the fact that there are normal human beings who are participating in normal human being activities. The shit is so weird. But I understand why.
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I disagree with that. One-on-one is crazy. I'd say as like a group of friends, if it's, you know, your girlfriend, you and your boys, and maybe another couple girls there, like, it's cool, we can all interact, right? As a group, one-on-one, your girl is calling you, talking about, oh, hey, babe, I'm gonna go out with so-and-so. Yeah, you're gonna go out with him and you're not coming back. I'm telling you that for sure.
That's not masculine. That's not manosphere. That's not red pill. And look no further in the red pill community, because I have found what seems to be the next big face of red pill content, Mr. Organic.
This comeback is inevitable. This comeback is in the works. I will not fall. I will not quit. I will never stop believing. I will be the greatest.
I personally would never trust anybody that has a nasty ass crossover like this or wears the nasty ass outfits that he does. But hey, maybe he has something that a lot of these other red pill content creators don't have. Maybe he is different. Maybe he is the one that's going to bring us out of this dark age where the fresh and fits are going.
Shout out to Mr. Organic. I like him. I've watched a couple of his videos. He has some good insights.
Deep into the political sphere and going totally right-winged out. Maybe he'll bring us back to regular red pill content that's self-improving of man.
I retired my mama, she ain't gotta work. I'd rather build you a business, not buy a purse. Thank God for these millions, but never go to church. I pray my predecessors have my wealth when I leave this earth. Self-made millionaire, born to break the curse. Born with humble beginnings, but people had it worse. All I knew was a hustle. I had to start from dirt. In the free lunch line, then my stomach hurt.
Maybe I miss the days of the red pill community where they would just sit behind the camera and talk bad about women. If that's what it's coming to, that shit is weird. Not only is Mr. Organic the same face, just different day, he is literally taking things up a notch, trying to become a internet sensation with his crazy outfits, flamboyant lifestyle, feminine ways, and just same old tired ass nasty talking points.
What's your age?
43.
Are you single?
Kinda, sorta, but not really, you know what I'm saying? I'm married to the game, brother.
At your age, have you ever proposed to a woman before?
Nah, I would never do that. If I ever thought about getting married, we gonna get a shaman or something and do a tribal ritual. I'm not signing no paperwork with the government with my money and my greatness.
To the 43-year-old woman watching this now who would go, you're not taking anybody serious without marriage, what would you have to say to that?
I say God bless them. You know, if you're 43 and you're a woman and you complaining about marriage, that means you already past your prime. That is a fact. As a 43-year-old man, I got better with life. I'm better right now as 43 than I was at 23. I'm gonna keep getting better. I'm gonna keep getting more money. I'm gonna keep looking better. I'm gonna keep getting more women. It ain't gonna never stop for me. But for a woman that age, God bless her.
So let me get this straight. The 43-year-old woman who is single and talking about marriage is not getting better, but this 43-year-old man who is on Miami Beach looking like a thought, wanting to be one of the kids, wanting to be one of the youngsters.
Yeah, you see, you know, I fuck with ohmeezzy, but this is where my opinion and his disagree. I understand what the base of what Mr. Organic is saying is like, as a man, yourself from now compared to when you're 43 or 33 is only going to improve, right? I'll say only when you're like 60, that's when like, but even at 60, you could still be in your prime as a man. But I'll stick with like 40, because as a man, the more experience that you have in life, the better. Whereas for women, the more experience that you get in life in general is not really going to make a difference. And really and truly, what most of us men care about or attracts us to women is their beauty. And, you know, when women are getting to that age, where they're 43, have to be honest, their beauty starts to diminish to some extent, especially if they don't take care of themselves as they should be. And the same goes to men. If you're 23 and you're not working hard enough to, when you get to 43, you're not in a position where, you're financially successful, in a good physical shape, stable, or successful in all areas of life, or in most of them, then you're also aging like milk. There's not much of a difference of you and women. But typically with men that work hard in their 20s, when they get to their 40s, yes, they do age better. That's why that phrase aging like wine comes from. They're still in good shape. They're making more money than when they were 20, and also they just have more experience, more knowledge, and women find those things attractive. I'm sorry, but it's true. They do find it more attractive. So we do have more leverage once we get to that age compared to a man that's 43 compared to a woman that's 43. A man that's 43 has way more leverage than a woman that's 43. If he put the work in. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below on what I just said.
Talking to a bunch of younger women flexing his chains and flexing his money is supposed to be better. That shit is ass backwards. I told y'all that these red pill dudes were a bunch of high school and college losers or early 20 losers that found a way to come up, whether it be legally or illegally. And now they are doing all those memes of, oh, I used to be down and now I'm up, and so I'm flexing on all the women. These people don't care, and they are not checking for you. I think that that's the thing that a lot of these red pill dudes don't think about. I have my stances on age gap relationships, and that's one thing, but the way that this guy is going about flexing the fact that he is attractive to younger people, and really it's based off of money, is just so weird. And the only people that think that this is some sort of flex are the dudes that are consuming the content. So I gotta ask myself, not only to Mr. Organic, but to all the other new age red pill dudes that think that peacocking is the way to the top, that's the way to attract people, even though it's really only the dudes that you're attracting. What's the main focus of the red pill community now? Have we lost the plot as a whole? This has gone so far away from men's self-help to just helping men help themselves in the most gluttonous ways by consuming this red pill pornography. I don't even know if the red pill community knows what they're aiming for anymore.
I think it's like I don't know, a lot of them are also just doing it for the clout now. They're not really like trying to incentivize or motivate men to becoming better. They're just doing it for the views, and you know, it's kind of, the red pill was kind of losing that main focus. But yeah, anyway, that'd be video. Shout out to ohmeezzy. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, what you thought about the video, and also make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel, because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year, and I can only do that with you guys supporting me, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that is helping me out. But yeah, that's it from me. Check out this video that's popping up right now, and I'll see you soon. Maybe, I don't know. I'm out. Peace.